how do we market skincare brands in the e-commerce world? Skincare is one of the massive trends in the consumer market over the last many years, right? And this isn't new. It's kind of like weight loss. Skincare is one of those things that all people or a lot of people strive for, or a certain segment of people do. They want great skin, and if they don't have it, they'll literally try anything to get it, similar to weight loss. We've seen that in the past with companies like Proactive and Rodan & Fields, massive companies, and many of them even have MLM strategies attached to them, like multi-level marketing strategies attached to them. And so like weight loss, skincare is probably never going to go away. It's a giant category. It's probably going to continue to expand and continue to do really well. And so if you're a skincare e-commerce brand, how do you win in that marketing battle? Are you doing the right things to market your product really well? And so real quick, obviously, I'm not necessarily a target customer for the traditional skincare brands. But the truth is in some areas, I am a customer, right? I do use moisturizer for my hands, and I actually use a company called Working Hands Moisturizer, right? It's getting cold here. Sometimes I do a lot of work outside and I'm getting cracked hands. And so that's a sub element. That's a subsection of skincare. And so it's not just things like makeup and acne care and those kind of things, although maybe I could use some of it. But it's also some of these other sub-markets and niches, and that's a big part of actually our strategy, our tips here. And so we happen to actually support many skincare brands like Revision Skincare and Skin Farm and Amela Beauty. And so in this video, we're going to talk through some of the top strategies that you can use to market your skincare brand right and try and break through the noise, some of the trends and strategies that are working really well. So real quick, let's talk about what's happening in the broader skincare market right now, or skincare marketing right now. Skincare is very broad, and so the market, or one of the market strategies, is specializing. The market's specializing. You see all these specialty brands, niche brands throughout the skincare broader market. And that's important to the marketing of your brand. That's important to cutting through. We see that clean skincare is really big. And that's a good thing. It's continuing the organic trend and the clean food trend, and it's what we put in and on our bodies that's becoming more important. It's become important. It's going to be continuing to get very important as well. And then look, whatever you sell, you have to find an angle that is unique. And that's what you'll see happening. So even if you sell the same thing as somebody else, you need to find a unique angle, and that's where your brand comes into play in order to stand out. Let's talk about what the customer is really buying, because we really need to understand this. What is the customer really buying when they're buying your skincare products or any skincare products? And so skincare is under what we would call the basic need, one of the core basic needs of a person, and that basic need being relationship, or also known as connection, also known as being liked by other people. Okay, that is the need. That's the core need that most people would say skincare and weight loss and products like that are really going towards. And so the customer's buying a result, and that result needs to be confidence. That result needs to be connection and better relationships with the people around them, right? If you were the only person on the face of the planet, you probably wouldn't care about your skincare or how you looked necessarily, but you aren't, and people aren't, right? They're looking for connection with other people. And so that's what we're selling. And so we really need to realize that. We're not selling a cream. We're not selling a type of makeup or a solution to a problem, although we're really selling the result of that solution and the result of that product. And we really need to paint that picture very well. And so that mindset shift is important. All right, so let's unpack best practices for improving your skincare marketing and let's talk about why each one are important. Each one of them is important. The first one is niching down. And so we've talked about how clean skincare is a trend. There's actually a trend, and that could be a great niche. There's a niche, most skincare goes anti-aging, right? And there's actually a brand called Boom by Cindy Joseph that is run by a friend of mine that is actually a pro-age skincare line. And think about that. It's actually elevating the aging process. It's showing the beauty in that. And they create skincare for that thing. We've talked about, the moisturizer, working hands. A lot of people might think of moisturizer for, a certain type of audience, maybe a middle-aged female audience. But if you talk about moisturizer for people that work with their hands, maybe you're talking about an older male demographic. Who knows? The point here is niche down on both the product and your brand. That is one way to cut through. And so that's the first one. The second one is specialize. And so kind of like niching down, you want to specialize. You don't want to go broad. You want to go specific. And that may mean that certain areas that you look at with regard to how you position your product. It reduces competition, and it strategically, you don't want to pit your brand against the rest of the giant behemoths out there. Even if you are one of those big brands, you want to specialize down. And specializing is similar to niching down, but this is more having to do with how you position that product and your brand. Are you a millennial brand? Are you for more of a boomer brand? Are you a very buttoned up, clean looking brand? Are you a more rugged brand? So specialize in regards to your brand, and specialize allows you to position yourself and cut through some of that noise as well, so that you're not directly competing with all the other skincare brands out there. The third one is an important one for any brand. It's knowing your customer avatar. And we've talked about the value of your e-commerce customer avatar, and we'll link to that. But really, you need to build that. If you don't know that, you need to make sure that you fill it out and that all your marketing is actually going towards the right avatars, and you know who you're talking to. Are you serving women who need makeup? Are you serving teens who have acne? Are you serving men who need certain things for their hands? Those might be generic, but you need to get even more specific than that, right? Know exactly who your customer avatars are. Typically, you'd have 4 to 5, no more than 10 if you're a really big brand, but most brands are in the 4 to 5 range. And know who those people are, and then you'll know how to talk to them. All right, number 4 is brand. Now you have to build your brand and build a great story around your brand. Make sure that your brand is sound. It's the foundation for everything you do, right? And so we talk about the value of story quite a bit. Your brand has to tell a story, and people buy your brand. They don't buy your product. And so you need to make sure that you're investing in that brand, because really it's the only moat, it's the only competitive advantage that you actually have as you grow in your business. And in a competitive market, that's really, really important. Number 5 is your product. Now, this is true in every single industry, but especially in skincare. Your product has to work really, really well. Otherwise, it's a fast path to the end. And when it comes to skincare, people are willing to spend a lot of money, just like they are in weight loss and some of these other places, but they need to get results. And if results don't come, it's a really, really quick way to destroy your business. And so make sure you have a great product, and that you can communicate all the features, benefits, and results of that product as well. Number 6, reviews. Now, reviews are important in any and every e-commerce journey, but in the skincare market, kind of like the weight loss market, there's a lot of snake oil out there. There's a lot of stuff that people say works and it doesn't work. And so generally speaking, people believe other people's opinion of you more than they believe your opinion of you. And that's even more true in the skincare market because people spend a lot. They're looking for a solution that works. And they want to feel the confidence in doing that from other people. And so make sure you're gathering reviews, and they're actual reviews. Make sure that you definitely have the blocking and tackling of the stars on, review stars and all that kind of stuff on your product listing pages and other pages as well. We talk about all the ways to do that in other videos and other articles. So make sure you're doing those things, but also go a step further. I would encourage you to incentivize getting video reviews, specifically in your post-purchase email sequence. Make sure, the more you're getting those video reviews, the more you can use those on things like ads and other places on your site. And those will go a long way. Now, if you don't know what your post-purchase email sequence is or how to create one, we've got a lot of information around how to do that in our Ultimate Email Guide, which you can find in our store or in other articles as well, which we'll link to. But the point is make sure you're grabbing those reviews and get video reviews, user testimonials along the way as well. Number 7 is image. And this is not just product image, but we're in the skincare market, right? We're talking about somebody's self-image, and that means your brand image, your product image, everything that you show visually needs to reflect that. And so when we talk about product images, we've actually discussed how to do that and the importance of them in other places, which we can link to. But it's very, very important here. The image you're selling is what the customer is buying. So you need to have great imagery. That means great photography, both of the people, right? Because we're selling that result, so we need people images, as well as the product. But the product is not nearly as important as the images of the people using your product and the results. And it doesn't end with images. As I just mentioned, we're talking about our entire brand image. And so your brand and your marketing and your website, all of that design has to align with the image that you're creating for your business. And it needs to look and feel great, even more so than if you were in other markets. It's so much more important in the skincare market. Number 8, go contrarian. And so this is a strategy I often like to use in any marketplace, right? When everybody's running one direction, consider running the other direction. Is there an opportunity in being contrarian and going to where nobody's running, so that you're not running with the masses? And for example, in the skincare market, everybody's talking anti-aging. And so what I love about the brand Boom is they actually go with that pro-age message. And so their goal is to not avoid aging, to not necessarily slow it down, but to embrace it and accentuate the beauty of age. And I mean, that's what a great message. So it's so smart in so many different ways, because it's a futile effort to try and not age, and people are trying to find that. But when you can actually shift their mindset to actually embracing it and loving it, and that positive message attached to it, it has so many benefits, because the truth is there is no fountain of youth. So that's just one example. But what is a contrarian direction, where everybody's going one way, where you can potentially flip it and make that a benefit and go another way? That would be a massive win if you can find those. And then lastly, leverage your local, leverage affiliates, influencers, and local professionals. Skincare is one of those products that if you have great skin, or you have a problem that you found a product that solved that problem for you, and you typically you're in a community of people where people might ask you about that, and other people that have that same problem will certainly be looking to people that solved it for what they did. And so as you're able to leverage that influence, make sure you have an influencer program, and use that, right? That's a key marketing strategy in most industries, especially in skincare. The affiliate model works really, really well here. So allow people to sign up as affiliates, because as you create fans, they're going to want to tell other people about the solution they found, and allow them to do that and get paid for that. And that'll benefit you tremendously. And then in certain areas of skincare, there might be a professional model that you can implement. Meaning doctors and skincare professionals and those kind of people, where there's potentially a relationship there, maybe even a commission model that you can implement as well, to benefit your products. And so, look, in conclusion, just like I've mentioned several times, like weight loss, skincare is not going away. It's only going to continue to expand because it's something that a large segment of the population is trying to solve, and it's not an easy path, right? And so the more effective your products are, the more you will win, but you have to be able to communicate that. And so your brand, your image, and the way you differentiate yourself will be incredibly important as you go about. And so look, if you're a skincare brand and you want help growing your business, reach out to us and we'd love to help you. Thanks.